Hello, what is up guys? Eman from Peso Smart PH here. Welcome sa panibagong episode. Shout out all the podcast listeners as well. I appreciate you all. Today, we're gonna talk about GMA7. And in particular, itong press release nila na nilabas noong July 19. So, around 4 days ago. So, yung subject ng disclosure, GMA7 set to diversify business via new subsidiary, GMA Ventures Incorporated. So now let's read up lang dito sa disclosure na ito. So GMA Network set to diversify business via new subsidiary GMA7 Ventures Incorporated. So as the country recovers from the impact of the pandemic, GMA7 aims to increase its contribution in rebuilding our economy by expanding its investments and developing more businesses that provide long-term growth. So yun yung key term, no? Long-term growth. To streamline GMA Group's investment and diversification efforts, GMA is setting up GMA Ventures Incorporated or GVI, a holding company that is 100% owned by GMA, aimed at transforming the GMA Group into being one of the country's big conglomerates. So ano nga ba yung ibig sabihin ng conglomerate? We're back here again sa Investopedia para ma-define natin kung ano yung conglomerate and so that we can understand more kung ano nga ba yung ibig sabihin nito. So a conglomerate is a corporation that is made up of a number of different, sometimes unrelated businesses. So essentially, this is just one company, but they have multiple businesses in different industries. To have more clarity about this conglomerate thing, magbigay tayo ng example. So, yung una dyan is yung AC or Ayala Corporation. Isa siyang conglomerate. Another conglomerate is San Miguel Corporation. So, isang business lang siya, no? And as you all know, SMC is listed sa PSE. And then, marami siyang hawak na businesses and marami siyang interests sa iba't ibang industries here in the Philippines and abroad. Another example, pinag-usapan natin ito like a few weeks ago, LT Group or Lushitan Group. And then we have JG Summit Holdings. Another one would be Aboitiz Equity Ventures Incorporated. And last but not the least is DMCI Holdings Incorporated. So yung mga nabanggit na companies na yun are all conglomerates. They are all holding firms or holding companies. And yeah, marami nga silang interest sa iba't ibang industries dito sa Philippines, and they are all a member of the PSEi, which is yung mga members nung PSEi are like high market cap companies or stocks. So ibig sabihin sila yung mga parte ng mga most valuable companies here in the Philippines. And now GMA7 is trying to do that same thing. To tap new markets and revenue streams, GVI will lead the GMA Group in identifying, investing in, and or building strong and sustainable businesses. As a champion of innovative business models, GVI will focus on sunrise industries such as tech startups. I really like that, with substantial growth horizons and industries that continue to expand. Aiming to be at the forefront of technology advancement and growth of the digital economy, it will likewise engage in mergers and acquisitions, strategic partnerships, and fund investments within or outside the Philippines. And then yung CEO na si Felipe L. Gozon ng GMA Network and ng GVI, and siya rin yung chairman, ang sabi niya, following the successful rollout of our digital TV products and a banner year in 2020, we are looking at surpassing our own achievements not just in terms of our main media business and content production. We are actively looking for ways to diversify the company's portfolio by investing in sustainable businesses and ultimately providing the best returns to our shareholders. Again, providing the best returns to our shareholders in the years to come. In simple terms, they want to make more money for their shareholders. Actually, when this was announced and when this information was released, I'm not sure kung bakit hindi naapektuhan masyado yung stock prices ng GMA7, but I think ang reason behind dun is yung current sentiment, no? Because, this is really sad, but like yung Delta virus is kumakalat na here in the Philippines, so that's not really good for like anything happening here in the Philippines. And of course, maapektuhan yung markets natin, maapektuhan yung economy, and like lalo pang magsuslow down yung recovery natin. That's the only reason kung bakit I think hindi sobrang tumaas yung price, or like, kahit konting move lang when this was announced. So there's that. And lahat naman ng mga stocks sa PSE are like bleeding right now. And I think yesterday lang nagkaroon ng, kumbaga, parang relief day lang. No? It's not a relief rally, so to speak, kasi it's just one day, and like most of the stocks kind of recovered yesterday, and parang yung PSEi is up around 100 points, but today it's down around almost 100 points again. So parang wala lang nangyari. Anyway, yung GMA President and CEO naman and GVI's Vice Chairman Gilberto R. Duave Jr. added, quote, "While we tirelessly work on maintaining GMA's leadership position within the industry, we also intend to further contribute to the growth of the Philippine economy as we protect and increase our shareholder value. GMA Ventures will be our arm in identifying other viable sources of revenue and future profit pools." And then ito naman si Reggie C. Bautista, siya yung GVI President and COO, who is also GMA's Senior Vice President for Corporate Strategic Planning and Business Development, Chief Risk Officer, and Head for Program Support. So ang dami yung title. Sabi niya, quote, "We now set our sights on making GMA one of the major conglomerates in the Philippines. We are taking this significant step to future-proof the network, champion innovative industries and business models, and be at the forefront of technology advancement and the growth of the digital economy." And yes, I couldn't help but agree with what they're saying and what their plans are. Because I think medyo delayed pa nga sa atin, no? In like parang digital economy, because this has been happening since like late 2000 and early 2010s. Like parang doon nagsimula yung digital quote-unquote revolution, right? But of course, as a third world country, hindi tayo like nakasabay like sa mga big economies like the US, China, England, UK, and other superpower countries. But of course, at some point, maka-catch up na tayo, no, dun sa parang progress. And na-magnify pa ito because of the pandemic. I mean, I'm not saying that the pandemic was a good thing. I mean, it's really terrible, and it's sad, and it's really bad for the economy, and it's bad for everyone. But of course, we humans, we have to adapt to like this quote-unquote new normal. And ayun, na-magnify talaga yung, kumbaga, kung nasa na tayo like currently. Like, yes, there are a lot of jobs that needs to be like performed on a physical location, and you have to be there like in an office, in a store, in a factory. But like we adapted into this terrible thing, and we like make something out of it, because our instinct is to survive, right? So we're gonna do our thing to survive. And if that's like working from home like every day, and like just going out, I don't know, like once a month, twice a month. I mean, that's what I've been doing for the longest time when the pandemic started. So yun, anyway, I digress. So medyo lumalayo na ulit tayo sa topic. Ngayon naman silipin natin yung price action ng stocks ng GMA7. Right, here we are. So ever since noong July 6, so around 2 weeks ago, medyo nasa downtrend na si GMA7. So on that day, nag-close at around 14.38. Highs was 14.52. Then after that, ito, nagkaroon ng major selling, ang haba ng candle. And then ang daming prices na na-trade itong stock na ito. And then the next day, parang mini consolidation. Then tumaas pa ng konti, and then yun, continue lang bumaba. And I think ito na nga yung reason, yung Delta variant ng COVID. That's why like a lot of stocks was like bleeding for days or like a couple of weeks now. And then ito, grabe to. Like ito yung week, yung mahaba. And then ngayon parang nasa mini consolidation phase ulit. But yesterday it was a good thing na nag-close sa green, but ngayon pulahan na naman ulit. So yeah, we'll see kung ano yung mangyayari in the coming weeks. I mean, ako sinusubaybayan ko lang naman ito for like the fun of it. I'm not really gonna sell my stocks until like, maka-receive ako ng dividends for the next 5, 10 years or whatever. And ito pa nga, di ba, dumagdag pa yung pagiging like plan nila to become one of the biggest conglomerates or like, compete with the biggest conglomerates here in the Philippines. So I will hold on to my stocks for as long as I can, for as long as it makes sense for me to hold it. And yun, yung last traded price niya today, nag-close earlier today, is 11.9. And yung 52-week high is 14.88. And yung lowest in 1 year is 4.8. And yes, it's easy to say that, we're down 20% from the 52-week high na nangyari a couple of weeks ago. But I think if you say that, you're kind of missing the bigger picture here. Kasi we're still up, no, when you compare yung 52-week low sa current market price na 11.9, we're still up 147%. That's insane. And of course, like, it is a bigger number if you compare the 52-week low to the 52-week high. But currently, no, kahit nasa 11, we're down 20-ish% from the highest point or the all-time high. And like, if bumalik ka a year ago and sabihin na, hey, yung GMA7 would be like 11.9 in 1 year. I mean, personally for me, I wouldn't even believe you. Because like, parang walang indication on that this will happen. But anyway, it happened. And I mean, an indication would be like, yung sa ABS-CBN. But that's not the topic for this video. But anyway, I just wanted to highlight that we're still up 147%. Of course, if you bought at like 4.8, yun yung kumbaga parang bottom like last year. But if not, I mean, if you bought at like 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it may be, I mean, hopefully up pa rin kayo. And like, for example, na FOMO ka na, and then if you bought at around 14 pesos per share or like even higher, yung sa pinakamataas ka nakabili na 14.88. I mean, personally for me, if you bought at that price point, there's like no reason for you not to buy at 11.9 if you have the funds, right? Like, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense for me. Like, you bought at 14.88 looking to make a profit, but it didn't exceed that price. And then at 11.9, you're scared and you're like running, you're running away from the market. Are you gonna say, bababa pa ito na mababa? So, is the company shutting down tomorrow? Are their financials like bad? Do they have a lot of debt? No. This company is fundamentally sound. And yes, like, yung implication, pagka bumalik yung ABS-CBN, I mean, it would affect their stock prices and it would affect their financials, it would affect their income, but we don't know when that will happen, right? And yun nga, if you've bought at 14, it doesn't make sense for you not to buy at 11. I mean, I'm not saying this just to like promote the stock. I mean, I don't care if you buy it or not. If I'm being honest, I really don't care. But, personally for me, if I bought a stock at a high price and it went down, I'm gonna buy more. Because I wouldn't buy that stock if it's not fundamentally sound and if I don't believe in the stock. And GMA7 gives dividends every single year and they haven't missed one since 2008. And it's just getting bigger and bigger since yun nga, like, majority nung kinikita nila is binabalik lang nila sa mga shareholders nila. Because they don't have to like invest in, I mean, etong GVI, of course, this will like take some investment, but it's not really that big of an investment on their end for as far as GMA7 is concerned. But yun, I just wanted to highlight that again. And yes, there's still a chance, no, that GMA7 will go below this price level, but the fundamentals are there. And now they're looking into becoming a conglomerate. So another reason to hold on to this stock and to buy some more. It's tempting to sell at some point when you see tons of gains on your portfolio. And you can. Of course, you can. It's your right and it's your decision. So pera mo yan, so ikaw yung bahala kung ano yung gusto mong gawin. And to be honest, I was about to sell all my shares at around 14.5 nung naabot yung stock price na yun, and nakita ko like, oh, nag 14.88 na. I think I can sell at 14.5. But I kind of caught myself and reminded myself why I bought and owned this stock in the first place. So it's for dividends. It's not for like capital gains. Yes, I can like, I could have like sold at 14.88, 14.5, whatever the price may be, and then like re-enter, no? At this price point. Kasi down na siya ng 20%. But who knew that it will go down after mahit yung 14.88? I know a lot of people were expecting that it will hit 15 and then like go you know, go upwards, go on and on. But it didn't happen. So hindi mo talaga like masaspot no kung ano yung top. I mean, it's just a matter of luck if you were able to do that. And it's if you were able to do that, congratulations, but it's really hard to do it again. And ayun, now once the books has been closed for 2021 and they give out dividends again next year, I'm pretty sure that their stock prices will skyrocket again. And of course, when like this pandemic is over, I mean, hopefully that it will be over soon. I mean, that's going to be good for this company and for all the businesses here in the Philippines and for everyone here in the Philippines and like around the globe. And of course, I'll be there waiting for my big bag of dividends from GMA7. Kaya if you're investing and you're not trading, if you're investing for long term and for dividends, it's really important to control your emotions and like be the master of your emotions. If you're a sports guy and if you're into NBA, mga sinasabi palagi ng mga elite players in the NBA when they're in the finals, when they're in the playoffs, they always say that you should always be present and like you have to be neutral most of the time. Not too high, not too low. Until the job is done, right? Because I think the same thing applies to stocks and investing and like crypto or whatever. As long as the asset is fundamentally sound and you know that it will, you know, go up in prices like over time, even though it's low, the day-to-day prices is not really that important. So yeah, when you have like a lot of gains, you just don't care. If you have a lot of losses, like paper losses lang naman yun, I mean, it's not gonna be a realized loss unless you sell it, then yeah, you don't care as well. I hope that makes sense, and I hope that I got my point across to all of you. Alright, that's gonna be it for this episode, guys. I hope that you learned a thing or two. Help me grow the channel by smashing the like button. That really helps out with the YouTube algorithm. And if you're new to the channel, what are you waiting for? Click the subscribe button and ring the notification bell so that you won't miss out on my uploads every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Follow me on my social media platforms at MNPSPH. I'm on TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Another way to support the channel is through the YouTube membership. Click the link down in the description to know more about it. Thanks again for watching and listening, everyone. Stay safe. I'll see you all in the next episode. Always remember, be Peso smart.